Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a new one.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I fire it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them.
And he's going to go down again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. And this is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, that's Carson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key third down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. It's caught. Lockett. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 30, the 20, 10, and across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. 85 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Gets around him. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he powers his way up past the 30. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Now Hundley. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll give it to him up the middle, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing, Hundley. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Eric Armstead. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.